This is KGW News at 11.
We begin tonight with continued protests in Portland. Demonstrators marched from Revolution Hall to North Portland to call for police reform after George Floyd's killing.
Several hundred skateboarders, you see the video here, they joined in today. This was a ride around Waterfront for Black Lives Matter, a protest there.
I heard about this skate meetup, but really a Black Lives Matter and police reform protest through Reddit. And I just told all my friends, and I think it's a great way to help spread the message and raise awareness.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Dan Haggerty with Laurel Porter. We want to take you out live right now to Sky 8 over the Justice Center in downtown Portland. You see protesters there. They have gathered again tonight, and although this crowd is a bit larger than the one we saw there last night, things have stayed calm for now.
We also have a news crew on the ground tonight keeping an eye on the situation for us. We will keep you updated on any developments.
Sky 8 also captured this earlier this evening, the words "I can't breathe" and the numbers 846 lit up on the side of two buildings in downtown Portland. That signifies George Floyd's last words, of course, and the amount of time he was pinned to the ground by police.
This also comes amid a developing case of police brutality out of Washington County. A deputy is accused of attacking a man in the jail booking area. As KGW's Mike Benner reports, the deputy is only now facing charges 2 years after the assault.
Disturbing video from inside the Washington County Jail in Hillsborough. You'll notice a jail deputy go from one side of the room to another to attack a man getting booked for DUI.
I've been practicing law for a long time. I've seen a lot of videos. I've seen people die in videos. There was a viciousness to this which was unique.
Greg Kafori is the attorney representing the victim, 45-year-old Albert Molina, an American of Mexican descent. Kafori says what bothers him most is that Molina was doing nothing more than acting drunk and silly in the moments leading up to the March 2018 assault.
This is the kind of an injury that people die from all the time. Multiple skull fractures, bleeding on the brain. He survived, but he has rather profound symptoms of brain injury, memory problems, that sort of thing.
The video is awful, and there's we can't sugarcoat it.
Washington County Sheriff Pat Garrett identifies Ryan Alden as the deputy involved in the attack. The sheriff explains why Alden was not immediately prosecuted.
At the conclusion of that investigation, the district attorney's office believed there was not enough evidence to proceed at the time. We reviewed that case, and that review did not result in policy violations, and I recognize that does not add up.
Fast forward to May of this year. The sheriff's office received an email alleging that Alden engaged in racist behavior online many years ago.
I made arrangements to place him on administrative leave, and we started a personal investigation. And the district attorney's office saw that same communication, and that caused them to put their own process in motion.
The DA's office presented Molina's 2-year-old case to a grand jury. And last week, Alden was charged with first-degree official misconduct, a misdemeanor. Molina's attorney will tell you the charge doesn't come close to fitting the alleged crime that was caught on camera.
This is a Washington County case, but pretty much anywhere you look, it's the same thing. Police officers can get away with just about anything.
All right, Albert Molina did file a lawsuit against Washington County for hundreds of thousands of dollars. As for Ryan Alden's employment status with the sheriff's office, again, he's on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation into his online behavior as well as the court proceedings for the attack. I'm Mike Benner for KGW News.
Today, Amazon announced it is suspending police use of its facial recognition technology for a year. The company says it is waiting on federal legislation to regulate it. Studies have criticized Amazon's technology for incorrectly identifying people with darker skin. The Washington County Sheriff's Office was one of the first to use it. They told us in a statement today the facial recognition program was an innovation worth exploring. But until stronger regulations to govern the ethical use of the technology are in place, the Washington County Sheriff's Office will be suspending its use of the program indefinitely.
Now, the Portland city budget usually creates plenty of debate, but there is extra attention right now due to the protests. More than 700 people signed up to testify today during a virtual city council meeting on the budget. Many are demanding a change to police funding. Activists say they want $50 million of the Bureau's $244 million budget to be taken away and reinvested in the community in other ways. Testimony will continue tomorrow, and the final budget will be voted on. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler was not part of today's meeting. He is grieving the loss of his mother, who died yesterday. He is expected to participate tomorrow. It is also a sad night in the world of sports and for all of Oregon. Harry Glickman, the founder of the Blazers and the man who brought basketball and hockey to Portland, has died at the age of 96. He led a truly remarkable life that will leave a lasting impact on the city and the state he loved so much.
We're toying with the idea of running a contest.
Harry Glickman lived by the mantra, "My word is my handshake." And without Harry Glickman, we don't have Rip City.
Rip City, baby!
There's no Blazer Mania, there's no NBA championship in 1977.
The Portland Trailblazers have won the World Championship.
Yeah, it was an incredibly fantastic experience.
He's the father of professional sports in Oregon and put Portland on the map in 1970 when the Blazers came to town. Glickman is also an Oregonian, through and through.
You're born and raised here in Portland.
Here, Shattuck Grade School, Lincoln High School, University of Oregon.
He served in the Army for 3 years, earning the Bronze Star. Glickman first got involved in sports in the 1950s. He founded Oregon Sports Attractions and brought NFL exhibition games and the Harlem Globetrotters to Oregon. Before there was basketball, Glickman got into hockey.
If we receive the approval of the Western Hockey League, which we fully expect to do, we will transfer that franchise to Portland for the 1960-61 season.
For 13 years, he was the president of the Portland Buckaroos. They were a huge success, winning 3 WHL titles. His big break came in 1970 when the NBA awarded Portland an expansion team.
Oh, wow. Hey, we're in the big leagues. Yeah, that was, I thought it was the biggest day in the history of sports in Oregon. That was quite a thrill.
Glickman and 3 other investors paid $3.7 million to make it happen. It wasn't a big hit right away. In fact, only about 4,000 fans showed up to the first game.
I remember very well. Our top price ticket was $5. We didn't have a capacity crowd.
But it soon changed. And as legendary broadcaster Bill Schonely told us, another moment stands out from that first season.
Harry would often say to me, when we go to New York, I can't wait to see up on the marquee at Madison Square Garden, Portland versus the Knicks. He said that would really top it for me.
For 18 years, he led the franchise to incredible heights. In 1998, he sold the team to Paul Allen, but Glickman didn't go away. He served as general manager and retired in 1994 to become president emeritus. He still attended many games at the Moda Center. In fact, he was there when Damian Lillard hit that incredible three-pointer to knock out the Thunder in last year's playoffs. The 96-year-old leaves behind his wife, Joanne, son, Marshall, daughters, Jennifer and Lynn, grandsons, Joel and Lass, and granddaughter, Sydney. And I'm a little jealous of his anchorman voice. Love that deep draw, very nice. Current Blazers owner, Jody Allen, wrote, as the team's founder and first general manager, his leadership was instrumental in igniting our city's pride and passion for sports. I'm grateful for Harry's many contributions to the franchise over the years. He will be missed by many. And plenty of others are sharing their condolences tonight. Yusuf Nurkic, for instance, Blazers reporter Brooke Olzendam, the Portland Thorns and Timbers, and Oregon Senator Ron Wyden, all expressing their sorrow on social media. You can read more about Harry Glickman and his incredible legacy on kgw.com.
Oregon continues to see a rise in coronavirus cases this week. Today, state health officials reported 72 new cases, but thankfully no new deaths. There have been more cases in recent days. On Sunday, we saw the largest number of cases reported in a single day since the pandemic began. But it's important to note there have been just under 5,000 confirmed coronavirus cases in Oregon out of the more than 150,000 people tested. That's about 3% positive. However, the increased numbers haven't changed Multnomah County's plan to enter phase 1 of reopening on Friday. This applies to bars and restaurants, gyms and salons and barbershops with necessary restrictions. Kylie Boshi reports.
Multnomah County took the first step toward easing restriction on business and activities. Oregon's most populous county hopes to enter Phase 1 on Friday. If approved by the governor, Phase 1 would allow seated service in restaurants and bars, the use of gyms, salons, and other personal services as long as the business can follow certain rules. Gatherings of up to 25 people would also be allowed.
I appreciate them for going above and beyond some of what the other counties had done.
Patrick Abernath, the owner of Dillinger's Barbershop in Northeast Portland, hopes to see customers again on Friday.
We're all eager to get back to work and get business going, as usual, as it were. But with the current circumstances, I don't know how good we all feel about jumping back into being, on the front lines of a pandemic that's not slowing down.
Multnomah is the last county in the state to request to enter Phase 1.
One of the things that I'm most proud of at Multnomah County is that we have moved slowly and deliberately.
County health officials are cautiously moving forward despite a recent uptick in COVID-19 cases and large crowds at outdoor protests.
So far, we have identified very few, virtually no cases that are linked to the protest.
But county officials are confident they've satisfied requirements to enter Phase 1, including a declining rate of COVID-19 infections, the ability to trace all new cases, adequate testing and hospital capacity, and personal protection equipment for first responders. During Phase 1, Multnomah County hopes people will continue to work from home, have limited contact with people outside their own family, and when possible, wear a face covering. Kyle Aboshi, KGW News.